What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 news update. So in this video, we're of course going to be breaking down the brand new New York City Comic-Con trailer. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so like always, basically what I'm going to do is point out the things that you might have missed in this trailer, as well as, add to some of the things that you did see. But first up, we're going to be talking about this shot right here, which was very interesting. So here we can see Star-Lord, Iron Man, and Spider-Man flying alongside each other. Now this is really interesting because the way Spider-Man is actually flying there, it looks like he's gliding with his web wings. Now you can clearly see he doesn't have any web wings there, but it would be so cool if they've added that to the game. If Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming can actually use the web wings which he used in the movie, that would be amazing. Hopefully they have done that, because they could add it to Spider-Man 2099 as well, so that would be really cool. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the boss battles in the game. So what I've noticed is, with the boss battles, if there is an area in Chronopolis, chances are there's going to be a level set in one of those areas. So for example, we can see right here, we got Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie, we got Doctor Strange from his movie, Classic Captain America, and Captain Avalon in medieval England, which is also an area that you can freely explore in Chronopolis. So if there's an area in Chronopolis, chances are each of those areas will have their own separate levels as well, which is cool. Now, the thing I want to mention before we talk about who these characters might be fighting is, look at Doctor Strange. The time stone is actually glowing. You can see it stands out among the rest of his outfit. That is a really nice little attention to detail. And the enemy I think these characters might be fighting, it hasn't been confirmed, but judging by the way the trailer goes, I think it might be Enchantress. I think these characters might be fighting Enchantress. But of course, we will just have to wait and see. Now in this next shot of the trailer, you can see right here that Captain Marvel, Classic She-Hulk, and of course Thor from Thor Ragnarok take on ManThing. Now I'm really glad there's going to be a level revolving around the ManThing character, because I really think he's one of those underrated Marvel characters, and I'd love to see him make a comeback in the MCU someday, because that would be really cool. But yeah, great to see that there's going to be a mission set in ManThing's swamp. At least that's what it looks like. Here we can see Iron Fist about to pick up a very powerful crystal. Now I believe these crystals are going to be in each mission, because I think the heroes have to basically find all the crystals in the story, and then once they've found them, they can finally take down Kang's defenses and take him on one-on-one. So that should be a really exciting fight in the game. And of course, as soon as Iron Fist picks it up, who appears? Shou-Lao the Undying. Now we already know about these two. We saw them in a previous screenshot, which you can see right here, but come on. It is so cool to see that there's going to be a mission in the game where we play as Iron Fist and fight Shou-Lao. That is going to be incredible. Next up here, of course, you can see Ronan The Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Great to finally see this version in a LEGO Marvel game, because obviously in the first game and in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, it was the classic Ronan The Accuser, which was cool and all, but it's just great to have this version in a game finally. And obviously you can see from the background as well, that is very much inspired by the MCU as well. And this is what I love about LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. The fact that you can have very up-to-date modern stuff like the MCU, you've got Ronan taking on the Guardians from Volume 2, but then you can also have the classic Kirby-inspired stuff, like for example Old West Captain America, and then you can also have things taken from the Noir comics, the 2099 comics, medieval England. There's just so much crazy stuff going on in this game, and that's why I'm so excited about the story, seeing all these different versions of characters meeting the modern day versions. That is all going to be really exciting. Next up here, of course, you can see Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Classic Captain America, and a new character. This guy's name is Stingray. Now, if you don't know who Stingray is, basically his real name is Walter Newell, and he is an oceanographer who created the Stingray armor. Now, he used the armor as a deep sea exploration tool, but also as a superhero costume. And then, of course, he took on the name of Stingray. So he is a really cool character. I'm looking forward to, just swimming around under Lumeria as this character, especially because I really like the design. I think he's got a very cool costume. Now, as for the character that I think they'll be taking on, it's gotta be Attuma, which you can see right here, and he looks awesome. They have absolutely nailed the design of this character. Can't wait to play as him in the game. Now, before we move on to the characters that I spotted in the trailer, we need to talk about this shot right here. And you see it in the trailer, it is amazing. It's basically everyone just running towards Kang's and forces. You've got Doctor Strange, Classic Hulk, Classic Cap. You got Drax, Ant-Man, Gamora. The list goes on and on. But two characters that I noticed that I was not expecting to be part of the story is actually Daredevil and Classic Luke Cage, the Luke Cage from the 70s. Now, we already knew that both of these characters were in the game thanks to the roster that we saw at New York Comic Con, but knowing that they're also part of the story is really interesting, because if we think back to what we saw, you know, very early in development, we saw that Kingpin is in the game. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a mission in the game where classic Daredevil takes on classic Kingpin in noir New York, you know, maybe with Spider-Man noir and Elektra noir, or even Luke Cage noir, you know, stuff like that. That sounds really exciting. As for Luke Cage, I'm not quite sure. I mean, we know that Misty Knight is in the game, so maybe she's going to help him out in one of the missions. Lastly, of course, we need to talk about the new characters in the trailer. So this one right here, you can see, of course, this is Loki from Thor Ragnarok. But if you actually slow the trailer down and stop it at the very second that it shows Loki in the trailer, you can see it's not Loki at all. It's actually an Egyptian, and he morphs into Loki from Thor Ragnarok. So my question is, who is this Egyptian character? Is it just an average Egyptian character, or is it actually someone that's going to be in the game that we don't know about yet? Let me know in the comment section below who you think this character is, because I'm really interested to know. Here, of course, we can see Thor from Thor Ragnarok, and also the pilot Captain America Lego minifigure. Now, I love this because I was actually wondering how they were going to use this in the game. Would, you know, pilot Captain America just be an unlockable because he has a Lego set, or would he actually wear that outfit some point in the story? And the fact that they actually found a way to use it is really cool, because I'm guessing this is probably the mountains of Kunlun or something, and that outfit seems appropriate. So I like how they found a way to use that minifigure in the actual story, even just for a costume swap. Now, this is a very cool shot in the trailer, because here, of course, we can see Claw, Tactical Force, and this is actually Bowman. Now, we obviously already knew about Claw and Tactical Force already, but Bowman was one of those characters I think we saw on the roster and was teased, and, you know, we weren't entirely sure if that was that character. And you can see right here, it is Bowman. These are basically Hydra versions of the Avengers. You got Hydra Hawkeye and Hydra Iron Man, and we also see what looked to be a Hydra Captain America in the character creator. You could see one of the headpieces looked like it said a H instead of an A on top of his head. So it's pretty cool to have Hydra versions of characters in the game. Next up here, of course, we can see our very first look at a brand new character, and this is, of course, Beta Ray Bill. That's right, Beta Ray Bill is in the game. That is awesome news, because I think he's a really cool Asgardian character, and I'd love to see him in the movies one day. I think it'd be really cool for them to somehow introduce Beta Ray Bill in the MCU in Phase 4 or something. So to have him in this game is great, because I think he's a really underrated Asgardian. Now then, this also raises the question, is he actually part of the story? Well, you can see right here that he's in medieval England. This does look like a level design, so, you know, I'm guessing maybe he's part of the story, or maybe this is free play. Or maybe, if this isn't a level and this is actually in Chronopolis, perhaps this is a tease to the fact that we can actually spawn in more than 2 characters now, because it was confirmed a while ago that what you can now do is, obviously you always have 2 characters, so you've got, say for example, Spider-Man and Captain America. One is the main player, the other is the co-op player. Well, now you can actually add a bunch of other characters just as a party, so you could run around with all the Avengers or something. We didn't get a final count on how many characters you can run around with, but maybe it's around 7 or something. We'll have to wait and see. But this could be a tease to it, or it's just part of the level. Who knows? And last but most certainly not least, the final thing we need to talk about is, of course, this shot right here. So here we can see classic Captain America, Thor from Thor Ragnarok, Captain Marvel, and Doctor Strange from the movie. But if you look up, you can see what looks to be the Red King, who's, of course, one of the villains from the Planet Hulk storyline. So that is very exciting. And what's even more exciting is you can actually see he's wearing his war suit, which in the comics allowed him to fly, shoot fire and missiles, and it also increased his strength and speed to superhuman levels. So he is a really cool character, and I really hope he's playable, because that armor looks amazing. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Now if you ask me, I think this trailer was amazing. I think it really showcased what the story is going to be all about, and I loved seeing it from Cosmo's perspective. I think he's going to be a really funny character in the game. But this is the thing, you know, Arthur Parsons has said that with LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 1, he kind of wished they did better with the story. And while I did really enjoy the story of the first game, I thought it was great, this one I can already tell is going to be so much better. I really can see that this is going to be a lot of great levels, a great story, lots of humor, lots of action. It is going to be so much fun, and it is not long until this game comes out. It is next month. Can you believe that? Next month is when we get LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. That is absolutely crazy. I am so excited to finally have this game in the palm of my hands and to be able to play it. It is going to be so much fun. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.